What you working on?
I don't know. Something Stephanie told me to do.
None of them have shown any prior.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday!
It's Friday.
Yay! Woo!
We actually both have the day off work, so that's pretty
We
exciting.
do. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
So what are we doing with our day off work?
I thought we would maybe knit some stuff.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty good fallback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good idea. So we're gonna knit some stuff.
We are gonna knit
What
some
kind
stuff.
of stuff should we knit?
Let's roll the dice and see how it works out.
Roll the knitting needles.
Roll the knitting needles. There we go. Well,
Yeah.
no, I'm not coming up with anything better.
No. So this is what prompted this exact idea that we're heading into here?
That is a good question.
Wow, we're really good at this.
Yeah. This is really top quality right here.
So we like to knit.
Yep.
Skip a few.
Mhm.
Now we're doing a mystery.
We're doing a mystery. Yeah.
We do like mysteries.
We do like mysteries.
So that
We
could
watch
be
a lot
part
of
of it.
mysteries,
I
and I
do.
think that is where things kind of started. And
Could
then
be.
it was, I kind of want to do a mystery knitting project, but I don't want it to be like a month, and I don't want it to be like a big giant
Enormous
extensive
endeavor.
5 skein project.
Oh yeah, no.
You know, and like you don't know how it works out, and it was
Right.
5 skeins in a month, and
Right. There's
you
a
have
little-
no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just, again, it's a bit much.
It can be a lot.
So I wanted to do something smaller.
Bite-sized mystery.
Yeah, bite-sized
Yeah,
mystery.
like one episode.
Right. So,
Well, yeah.
sort of.
A day.
A day of a
day,
mystery, right?
2 days.
Right. Something like that. So what we discussed then,
We did. This is a plan.
this was a plan. We do have things planned sometimes. We have picked out patterns for each other
Mhm.
that,
We don't know what they are.
we don't know what they are.
Like, I know what hers is,
And I know what hers is.
but
I don't know what I'm knitting.
yeah, it's we know they're hats.
There,
So
yes,
that's
we're
all we
making
got.
hats.
They are things that will go on your head
Uh-huh.
or
Yep.
someone's head.
Someone's
head. We don't really know whose.
We don't know what's going on.
And
And then we're going to be watching something while we do this.
yes.
Yeah, so what are
Mystery.
we watching? We never actually figured that out.
You know, this is really off the top of my head, kind of, but the other day I watched the unaired pilot of Sherlock,
Oh,
which made
okay.
me want to watch Sherlock.
Yeah,
Which
sure.
we've both seen before.
But that
Not
makes
a
it
mystery,
great knitting TV, because then we can be
Exactly.
looking at what we're doing
Yeah.
and not being, not miss out on other things, which
Right.
I also am happy that you picked Sherlock as opposed to the other things we've kind of talked about, because there are other things that already have patterns for Sherlock. That makes me happy.
You're double knitting.
Yeah, my
Yes.
double knitting.
Oh,
There's already a
yeah.
double knitting square for Sherlock, so
Mhm.
that works out really well for
That
me.
does work out really
Yeah.
well.
Yay.
Wow. Okay,
Cool.
well, there you go.
So there we are. We're gonna watch Sherlock, and we're gonna knit some hats.
Knit some hats.
Or
Yeah.
something
So-
like that. Yours may or may not turn into like just a really thick headband or something.
So
I
the fun
honestly don't know.
The really fun part is Rebecca actually wrote the pattern for the hat that I'll be knitting.
That's a generous phrase, but sure.
I am copying and pasting splices of a published hat pattern into Google Documents to send her as little breadcrumbs.
Sure. And by I wrote the pattern, I mean I went through some stitch dictionaries and said, hey, this one has a good amount of stitches. Do this one or this one.
That is more work than I did. So
I mean, I did
I
type them
changed
into
my
the
mind this
document,
morning
so
as to what kind we were going to do.
there we
So,
go. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll let you know how it goes
Mm.
throughout the day
We'll be checking.
or two.
So
We'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
Okay, let's look at what we brought in the yarn bag. Hey, Klaus. Excuse me, Klaus. Excuse me, Klaus. Okay, so this, well, there's a lot of hand spun, so hand spun.
It's a lot
Did you just go?
greener in real life. It looks very blue on your phone. I'm just saying.
Okay.
For context, it's a bit more green.
There's that.
There's that. It's
Also
pretty.
green, I guess.
Well, there are similarities.
So basically, I went digging through the hand spun
Uh-huh.
because it was easy to get to, and
Sure.
I couldn't always use some hand spun.
Yeah.
There's that.
Nice.
There's this.
Okay. It's fine.
sure
It's
is
just Klaus
yarn.
is getting in your bag.
Oh, shocker. Smells
Yeah.
like cat's claws.
Smells like cats.
There's this, totally different color
That
palette.
is different. Yeah.
And then this.
There's that one. That bounced away.
There. So, what do you think?
Oh, those are good. With all due respect to me, who quote unquote wrote this pattern, I'm not sure it's going to be an heirloom piece.
Okay.
So this is definitely a thing that, like, maybe don't get too attached to it.
Okay.
So if there was one that you wanted to maybe, you know, use, get rid of, any of those terms.
Okay.
That could be, this could be a way to do it.
Okay.
We're going to save it from obscurity, but maybe not in the best possible way. Who knows?
Do you think it's something I could enter in the fair?
No.
Okay.
Sorry. No.
So then we'll take this one out because this one can be.
That can be a second time around, I think, right?
So we're left.
If there was a fair category for amusing your crazy friends, sure. But I don't think there is.
Not yet.
No.
Go on. All right.
There we go. I think the purple green yarn might be a bit dark
Okay.
in the event that you actually want to see anything, which I don't know if you do, because again, it was an experiment, this pattern. I don't know.
How about that then?
I mean, either of those would be good. I think maybe I'm going to say the blue just because it looks a little bit thicker.
Okay.
And I think going a little bit thicker will be
A plus.
helpful. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey!
We have a plan.
Woohoo! Yarn has been selected.
Soon we will have a pattern.
Yay.
First thing we did, we already did actually.
Yeah.
Because
We
Rebecca
had-
was thinking maybe we cast on during this.
Yeah.
You're going to cast on 86, by the way.
86!
86.
Yay!
That's the mystery number.
That's the
86.
mystery number.
And
Cool.
I had
And
to choose yarn.
You had to choose yarn.
I
This
brought
is my
a-
scrap yarn.
Yeah, it's a provisional cast on, which
It
makes
is.
it even more mysterious.
It really does. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing.
I
really don't.
haven't looked at the document for your hat yet because I didn't want to, ruin
It
the
really
mystery.
could go either way,
I'll pull it up, but
it's going to be 85 or 88.
the yarn is hand spun,
Oh yeah, mine is also hand spun. Here's my yarn.
which again, not actually something we planned, but
Nope.
they look kind of good at this point. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So this is our yarn. We are going to have hats that are living in the 80s.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The early 80s,
The early 80s. Yeah.
70s.
So,
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. Well, I meant like 80 stitches.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that does make me feel better though, because I just looked at a bunch of other hats and was like, what's a good stitch count for a worsted weight hat? I don't really know, and I guessed. So it
Okay.
seems like I was in the right
So you're in the
ballpark.
right neighborhood.
Yes.
That bodes
Excellent.
well for my hat.
Hooray! It does. It does.
I wonder what fiber this was. I don't even know. I literally just dug through my handspun drawer this morning and was like, that looks like it could be a hat. Vaguely worsted-ish weight.
I don't remember what mine is.
Well,
We
you'll
dyed
get
it
to
at
see
your
the
house,
options because we recorded me dumping out yarn and Rebecca
Yes.
choosing which one was going to be the one.
With Klaus's help.
Oh, he's a very good helper.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
He is a helper.
there
you
we
go.
are.
Cool.
That's how we're getting started.
Yep.
Let's go watch some Sherlock and cast on.
Yay!
All right.
Recording.
That's the trouble.
7.
This is why casting
Mhm.
on 86 is going to take you a while. I'm making the next clue.
Yeah.
because I'm actually making these glues live right now.
Really, I'm just gonna cast on a bunch and
And
then
then count them.
I'll pick up 86.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna count the chain. I'm just gonna cast
Shared.
on.
I found it.
Yay!
Do you want to focus on knitted texture or showing off some yarn? Oh. Oh no.
It really doesn't matter. They end up being the same. It's
Yarn. I don't know. Is this pretty?
also texture, but I mean, again, they're not as separate as
Alright,
Too
I'll
hot
do a
heavy.
pretty yarn. Do you want to look at your brim?
like while you're doing it.
Oh.
I figure you can do a 1x1
Without
looking.
I think I can do
Oh, okay.
I think I can do a 3x2 without looking once I get it going.
Okay. Well, then you can do either one.
Okay. Alright, I'll do that. Cast on number. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. How's that hat?
It's going. The yarn is working out nicely. I'm a little concerned I'm not going to have enough, but it is doing pretty well on the color front. It's knitting up nicely, which is always a good thing for hand spun. You know, that's what you want it to do.
Yeah.
But right now I'm doing 3.5 inches of 1x1 twisted rib. And I think, I don't know, I'm about 1.5 inches through it. So there you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright. Just keep swimming.
I will.
What do I have? I have about 1 inch of 3x2 ribbing with my hand spun, which I looked it up and it's Cheviot, which explains why it feels the way it does. And yeah, we're doing okay. Yarn is holding up.
Somebody's a better spinner than I am and gets more consistent yarn.
Well, I don't know that those two things are mutually exclusive or inclusive or whatever. Anyway, philosophy lesson over for now. Back to Sherlock. We're
Back to
through
Sherlock.
we're through the first episode,
Yes.
Study in Pink. What did you think? Mysterious?
So mysterious.
Oh yes.
Very mysterious. No.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know. There's time has passed since I watched it the first time. There are definitely some more like recognizable this is a BBC thing that's happening that I'm catching.
Yeah.
So that's amusing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I mean, you know, it's a solid show. Any iteration of Sherlock being Sherlock is always amusing in
True.
that, you know, jerk kind of way. That arrogant jerk. Arrogant genius. We'll go with that.
So I've been watching Monk
Okay.
lately, and they keep referring to him as like sidebar conversations. They're like, oh, so he's supposed to be like some sort of Sherlock Holmes type, and he's like, okay, yes, objectively yes, but also no, he's
'Cause
not.
I'm nice.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
nice, but he's not.
nice.
He's not always nice.
He's
like
not always nice, but he's nice. But like, it's
he doesn't mean it in a mean way.
he doesn't mean it in a mean way. And like with Monk, he like can't help
Some
it.
of
He's
his-
just saying
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Sherlock.
Can help
Certainly the
it.
Benedict Cumberbatch version, like,
Yeah.
feels like he says things the way he says things on purpose to push buttons.
Right, and he's
Yeah.
like he's the arrogant part for
Yes,
sure.
he is definitely very arrogant.
Whereas Monk is
will
not.
just
Monk is
say
like
things.
apologetically like,
Yes.
oh, okay.
Yeah, or you
It's
know,
a
he
gift
just kind
and
of
a
like
curse.
gets wrapped up in something and it'll come out.
Right.
And then he'll realize what he said.
Yeah.
Sherlock always knows what he said, and really, if he thought about it, on some level, he knows how it's going to be taken and wants it to be taken badly. Like,
So true.
he could say it differently, and you know he could say it differently because of how
Yeah.
consistently he says it badly.
Yeah. All right, party on.
Good TV, not good friend.
Okay, so you just finished your 3.5 inches of ribbing.
Ish, yeah.
You're ready for the next clue.
Looking for my next clue.
Okay. And then I said, I wonder what it could be. And you're like, you know what it could be. And I was like, yes, but you don't, and you're not going to like it. And she's like, what do you mean I won't like it? So now,
Okay, so here's
see.
the next clue.
uh-huh.
Fold the brim under and connect the cast on edge to the live edge and unzip the provisional one stitch at a time. Do this all the way around. Knit another row all the way around. Okay, so it's just a folded brim.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
That's all. It's a folded brim. Yay! Folded brim!
Okay, so this is Stephanie's hat after the brim, and we'll go with clue 1. We've got a 3x2 brim, and then what was called in my stitch dictionary the ornamental stitch. It's a stitch where you dip down a few rows below and pull up a long stitch, and it ends up being kind of a flower shape in your fabric. So that's what's going on. We'll see where it goes from here. Yep, okay. Okay, here we are at the start of day 2. I have so far a folded over brim. That's why I needed the provisional cast on. And then I'm through 1.5 of the pattern repeats. We've got some purl or reverse stockinette stitch, whatever you want to call it, and then a couple rows of stockinette, and then some regular rib, stockinette, purl, stockinette. That's where I'm at so far. There is my yarn. Here it is. All right, we're going to check the scale. And I now have 38 grams. I had 52 grams before I started the second repeat. Stephanie said I should just go for it and not worry about trying to do, like, add in some more yarn or anything. So we'll see how far this gets. In her words, it might end up being a bun hat and not a real hat. But that's our update. It's definitely going to be super warm. Not sure how soft it'll be, but it's going to be really, really warm. So there you go. And what should come as a surprise to no one, turns out my first quote-unquote hat design wasn't perfect. So here we have a picture of Stephanie's hat, about, I don't know, 4 inches. We've got about 4 inches of hat. So we've got that ornamental stitch, and then we've got, you know, an inch or two of just stockinette before going into the next stitch pattern, because I formatted things badly and Stephanie couldn't figure out where things were. So, it's a hat. So here we have our finished hats. We did actually manage to finish 2 hats. We have them being checked for quality by Bert the Billowy Bear, our associate, who always does our quality control. And on my end, we have the actual pattern that Stephanie gave me to knit was called Copy.Cat C.C. Beanie by Emily Ingrid. It's a free pattern. It's a really great pattern, especially if you're looking for something that is going to be very, very warm. It's got a lot of interest to it. You're switching things up every few rounds, so it's definitely a good one if you want to, you know, keep that motivation going of, oh, I only have another few rows until I change to this, and I can finish this in just one more row, and those kinds of things. Again, Stephanie was working off of my pattern, which she'll never see the light of day, but we do have a pretty good shot of the ornamental stitch. We've got that little bit of stockinette, and then again, in the book that I was using, we've got this other little texture stitch above it, which was called, I believe, the double rice stitch. So those are our finished hats, and we had a good time watching Sherlock. That's always a win in our book. We had some fun, we knit some hats, we used some yarn. Bert the Billowy Bear seems to approve, so we're gonna call this one a win.